Hey, all viewers and viewresses, my name is John Strategist and welcome back to Sir You're Being Hunted. Those words all kind of blended together a little bit, but this is episode 228, if I'm not mistaken. This is part of the same recording session as the previous episode, so if you were leaving comments on the previous one, just bear in mind I won't have seen them yet. But of course, in the last episode we came here to the East Island to continue on with our little memorial tour challenge. I didn't actually mark this one over here on my map, which I should probably do, just, for convenience's sake, so I don't end up, forgetting that I've been here already and end up going back to it. Whereabouts am I on this map? Oh, I'm over here. Okay, we'll drop marker 1 there. Okay, that's good. There could be more memorial stones and what have you off in this direction, but I think, as I was saying in the previous episode, I think I've found all the different sort of templates for the memorial stones that have been programmed into this game, so I don't think there'll be anything new in those regards. It just actually occurs to me that I need to get some vitality back up. There we are. Oh, so lovely stuff there, everybody. So of course in the last episode I mentioned that I'm now living down south here in England, no longer based in the northwest. I'm a good 4 hours drive at least from where I used to live. So I've taken up, of course, my 12-month teaching fellowship contract with a new academic institution for a slightly more prestigious job. Should be very interesting. Now, one thing I do want to talk about in this episode, since that's very much how these episodes are turning out now in Sir You're Being Hunted at this stage of the series, this is the 228th episode, whatever it is, they're turning into more kind of podcast style episodes. That looks like another one that I've seen already, another memorial. Yeah, again, lots of familiar names, so I don't think we need to read that. But something else, yes, as I was saying, that I definitely want to talk about in this episode, because I like talking about random things that I've heard in the news and what have you. And I think I actually mentioned this in one of my Alice Madness Returns episodes fairly recently, at least one of the ones I recorded recently, that is. And I'll repeat it again here. So obviously, I say this is recent news. Obviously, by the time this episode goes out, it probably won't be recent news anymore. In fact, it'll probably be out of date, or at least several days old, or what have you. But scientists and psychologists apparently believe that the average person these days spends, is it about, well, the average person these days can't go without looking at their smartphone for more than 12 minutes. Is it something like that? I believe that's the statistic that I heard. So if that is the case, then that makes me something of a technological dinosaur, that does. Because here's the thing, I have a smartphone, right? But when it comes to phones, like I say, I am an absolute dinosaur. Everybody these days, they look at the phones, they go, oh, my phone can do this, my phone can do that, my phone has these apps, this app, whatever. This app that pretty much does everything in the whole world possible, washes the dishes for you and what have you. Me, I don't have really that many apps on my phone. All I ask for in a phone is that it, makes calls and that I can text with it, and that's that. I don't care about everything else is just extraneous. As long as it rings, and as long as it makes calls, as long as it can make text messages, then that's fine by me. But yes, the fact that, people apparently these days can't go for more than 12 minutes without checking their phone, I thought was kind of an interesting thing. And I think, it's interesting, of course, in sort of one perspective to think how that kind of technology has become so kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of integral to our everyday lives, sort of, if that makes sense. But at the same time, it kind of does make me feel a bit sort of sad in a way that, nowadays we spend so much bloody time on our phones. It's kind of ridiculous, really, if you ask me. Don't know why I'm collecting so much dynamite, but whatever. An interesting actual thing that I did read recently in a newspaper. I mean, I say in a newspaper, so take this with a pinch of salt. But, of course, in a piece by a journalist who was talking about this phenomenon of people being constantly glued to their phones now. And this journalist was actually asking, can our obsession with technology actually be harmful in the sense that it leads to a form of childhood neglect? In fact, actually, no, that's what the article was about. Now that I think about it, it's coming back to me. No, it was actually about It was an article about that was what was it? It was reviewing a book about, I think, child neglect and child abuse in Victorian England. I think that's what it was. And the way the writer actually started the article was by talking about a very modern form of child neglect. And what this writer talked about was an instance where they were in a cafe, and on one of the other tables they noticed a father and a child who was, I think, less than 10 years old, and the father was just glued to his phone constantly, and the child in the meantime was just sat there with this incredibly bored expression on their face. And the writer actually started by raising the question, is this kind of a very modern form of neglect, of parents being so glued to their technology that they're not really seeing to their child's needs or emotions, Because that's the thing. If you want your children to, develop good language skills, good social skills, things like that, then certainly in their childhood years, in their early years at the very least, but certainly throughout their childhood in general, then as a parent you've got to communicate with them quite a lot. Because that's how they'll pick up, good language, good social skills, good good verbal communicative skills, skills that are probably leagues better than my own, if my stumbling over certain words and lines is anything to go by. I've got the excuse though, I'm multitasking, my brain's multitasking, I'm trying to play the game and commentate at the same time. But yes, so that's an interesting question, Does people's obsession with technology today, can that actually lead to a very modern form of childhood neglect if your, inability to look away from your smartphone for more than 12 minutes results in you basically paying no attention to your child's needs, or paying much less attention to your child's needs than is desirable? But yeah, so big question there. We're asking quite a big sociological question right there. Oh yeah. So let me know in the comments, everybody, where do you stand on technological usage and on people who are constantly glued to their phones and what have you? Welcome to King's Bottom as we come into this historic market town here. But yes, personally I always think, if you're out in public, at a cafe, or a restaurant, meeting someone, meeting friends, meeting family, I personally think it would be kind of rude if you sat there on your smartphone for, prolonged periods of time, as it feels like some people do these days. Because, come on, you can check your phone anywhere, anytime. Why are you doing it there, in the middle of a big social event? Are the people around you so boring that you have to lose yourself in technology? So yeah, if I was, sat in a cafe at a restaurant with someone, and they pulled out their phone and they just started texting and just flicking and swiping away at it, and not really paying any attention to me or any other people who might be with us, not really paying attention to the conversation, then whilst I'd probably be too polite to actually say anything, I would probably still nevertheless be thinking, are we boring you? Do you really want to be here? Yeah. But interesting actually, there was a survey here in the UK which says that apparently whilst the older generation would see that as rude, I can't remember the exact statistics, but a significant number of people of the younger generations wouldn't necessarily see that as rude. So, considering that I am myself one of the younger generation, so I'm not that old, I'm less than 30, everybody, but, considering that I'm one of those younger generations, I'm starting to wonder if that means I'm in a minority here. Surely it can't mean that, right? I'm just heading back towards those memorial stones. I haven't seen any churches around. But yeah. So yeah, you know where I stand now on the use of technology and smartphones and social situations, those kind of things. I just, don't like it when people are constantly on their phones like that. Where is the bloody door on here? I keep seeing the hand icon coming up, but I'm spamming the F key. Keeps... That's the door, right? I've got to have to be right up next to it. Jesus. Can't seem to open it from, just a foot away, apparently. So yeah, let me know in the comments, everybody. What are your thoughts on people who are so absorbed in their phones that they just seem to be oblivious to the world around them? I mean, one silver lining, one slightly cruel silver lining, I will say, to this black cloud, is, of course, it does make for some funny videos on the internet of people who are so glued to their phones that they don't watch where they're walking and they end up, walking into lampposts, tripping into fountains, things like that. I remember once seeing a video online, I think it was a shopping mall in America, and a girl wandering along, she was so, her eyes were so glued to her phone screen, she just did not look where she was going. She tripped over and fell into a public water fountain. It was hilarious. And then, of course, apparently afterwards, she actually tried to sue the shopping mall for putting the fountain there. And, of course, all the people in the comments below, well, whatever site this was, it may have been YouTube, it could have been Reddit, I'm not sure. Can't remember because it was quite a while ago. Of course, everyone in the comments was incredulous and thinking, no, that was your own stupidity. And yes, I absolutely agree with that. It was your own stupidity. If your eyes are glued to your phone and you end up having an embarrassing little accident, then, as unfortunate as that is, you should learn something from that. Don't be so bloody glued to your phone. Upper clubbing, no tourists apparently. Oh, man. Gosh, yeah, so that's a big topic of conversation right there. I wanted to spend a whole episode talking about. I don't think there's really anything actually on this island, is there? To actually see. So we've been to the south, we've been to the east, we've been to the centre, that just leaves the north and the west. So I feel like I've wandered all around this island and just haven't really seen any churches or anything. Unless I've been kind of confining myself to... Actually, no, I'm down here at this end. Maybe I should go back up this way towards some of the built-up areas in this direction, perhaps. Maybe? That's just the barns, and then there's more villages over there. No, I think I've explored most of this island now in this episode, haven't I? In which case, that'd be pretty good, because it means I can probably say goodbye to this island and move on to another one. So yeah, what I'm kind of really aiming to do with this memorial tour challenge thing is just to have an explore of all the islands, and then once I've explored all of them and I've seen everything there is to see, I might make a decision on where to go from there. So if I do have any castle biome set on this particular game, then that's good. But if not, then in future episodes I may start a new world file and set all the islands to castle biomes and then go and have a look for blue plaques and see what they say, perhaps. Because that sounds like a good idea to me. Yeah. Because that's the thing, it's been so long since I originally created this particular world that we're on. I can't remember whether I actually set any castle biomes to generate, or whether all the islands were just rural biomes, as you see at the moment. I don't know. Have to see. Okay, well, tell you what. I will start to wrap up this episode here, I think, as I'm heading back over to the jetty. And when we start the next episode, I'll be at either the North or the West Island. So yes, I'll jump cut a little bit in that regard then. So yeah, thank you for joining me then, everybody, for episode 228 of Sir You're Being Hunted with me, General Red Strategist. Leave your thoughts, of course, in the comments about your opinions and your views on people who are glued to their smartphones. Is it rude to be glued to your smartphone in a social situation, such as when you're at a cafe with a friend or a family member or at a restaurant or whatever? Is it not rude? Are you in that sort of grouping? Who knows? Are you astounded by the fact that apparently lots of people these days can't go more than 12 minutes without looking at their phones, like I am, kind of, to an extent? But yes, let me know in the thoughts. Let me know in the thoughts. Let me know in the comments, rather, even. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. That's what I wanted to say. But other than that, thank you once again. If you're not doing so already, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Links in the video description, as always. You can all go sign up to those pages to stay up to date with my uploads as and when I publish them. If you're also interested in seeing me react to, or watch or review kind of anime content, go and check out my General Red Propagandist channel, my second channel. You can either find a link to it in the video, or you can go onto the Strategist channel page and you can find a link to it over on the right. So, if you're interested in that kind of thing, it's up to you. Go and sign up to it if you wish. But other than that, thank you everybody, and in the meantime, this is General Red signing off. Goodbye all. Oh, got him. Shit, get off the edge. Oh, no, go. Get out of here, get out, no, get a time. That's that monstrosity finished off. Get over there. See ya. Oh shit, no. Oh, fuck. I did not mean to do that. Oh, please don't tell me I have to kill it again now. Shit! God, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. Yeah. Oh Lord, no. Holy crap, this area's horrible. Oh my god, I'm being shot to fucking pieces. Ah! Oh my, what the fuck? Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. Whoa, Jesus Christ. Holy shit. Fucking hell. Bloody hell, that did like 1 million damage. This better not be a... Whoa! Shit! No! Oh my fucking god! How many... What?